Today on Live at 4, it is Election Day. You have another 4 hours to cast your ballot in Wisconsin's primary election. You likely will not see long lines at the polls today.
Only 15% of eligible voters expected to turn out.
Plus, rain usually keeps people away from the polls.
Charles Benson live at City Hall in Waukesha to tell us what he is seeing at the polls there this afternoon. Charles?
Well, we're standing outside the door where people can vote. I don't want to get in the way of anybody in case we get a big rush, but I am going to let Eric go inside. You can see there are a few people voting here so far. Since 7 o'clock this morning, we were told that 175 people have voted here. They have the potential of 2,100 voters coming here to vote. So far, they're seeing less than 10%. And of course, that is less than what the statewide, we're expecting about 15%. But maybe after 5 o'clock, as people get off work, they expect a few more voters coming in. Some of the big races here include the state race for governor. On the Democratic side, there is a primary. On the Attorney General side, there is also a primary in the Democrats. The other big race out here is for sheriff, so that could bring out some folks as well. Keep in mind, the polls are open to 8 o'clock, and if you do come out to vote, there's only 3 things you need to know. State your name, state your address, sign the poll book, and it's that easy. Again, polls are open until 8 o'clock. We're live at Waukesha City Hall. Charles Benson, today's TMJ4.
All right, Charles, thanks. The governor's race, as Charles said, on the ballot today.
2 Democrats will vie for the chance to face Governor Scott Walker this November. Former Trek executive Mary Burke faces a challenge from State Representative Brett Hulsey, and Burke is expected to win the Democratic primary today to go on and take on Walker. Governor Walker cast his ballot this morning in the primary. He went to his local polling place in his hometown of Wauwatosa to vote. It is not clear who he voted for in the Democratic primary for governor.
A local lawman is taking on the Milwaukee County Sheriff in what's a repeat race. Police Lieutenant Chris Mays challenging Sheriff David Clark for the 2nd time in a row. Mays ran against the sheriff and lost 4 years ago. This has been an expensive race with frequent TV and radio ads in the last couple of weeks. Also a sheriff's race in Dodge County. Sheriff Patricia Ninman being challenged by Dale Schmidt. Ninman appointed sheriff by Governor Walker last year after Sheriff Todd Nails retired. Schmidt was a police officer for the village. He's been a patrol deputy since 2003.
Former State Senator Gary George tries to make a political comeback today. He is attempting to unseat Gwen Moore in Congress. George was recalled from office and served time in prison for taking nearly $300,000 in government kickbacks. He is barred from running for state office, but he can run for Congress. It is the race between the Ryans in Congressional District 1. Jeremy Ryan taking on Congressman Paul Ryan. No relation there. Jeremy Ryan lives in Madison, but says he would move to the district if elected.
You can leave your ID at home if you plan to vote today. Voters, you do not need a photo ID at the polls. That's because an injunction remains in place blocking Wisconsin's voter ID law. The latest legal rulings have cast confusion on the issue. Bottom line here, you do not need your driver's license to vote today.